All right, everybody, welcome on in NorCal Sports Network. Another dark night, as you see in the background there. Very dark, very, very dark. Diamondbacks do it again. 5 in a row versus the Giants. And we'll get into this. Wow. Giants back to 11 under 500. Not looking good as the D-backs go for their second consecutive sweep over the Gigantes. I mean, the Midgets. Maybe they should be called the Midgets, Dallas, instead of the Giants. They're playing like midgets. Anyway, let's why don't we you know what? Well, we'll wait. We'll do a little prize picks a little later here. Let's maybe the band's going to be the best part of the night, but let's get into it. All right, Dallas, welcome. Good to see you. Man, this is getting to be kind of just hard to watch. I knew it was over. Felt pretty good when it was 3-1 Diamondbacks. Felt like even though the Giants might score, I thought maybe they'd get 3 or 4 runs. They ended up getting 5. You knew the Diamondbacks weren't done. And
I was hoping this would be the night that they finally come back. They have not, if they're down by after 6 innings, they have not come back once this year. They're 0-25 now when down by when losing after the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, maybe they can, Haas hit the home run. I'm like, okay, they're creeping back. Maybe, Adames hit one, but just too little, too late. And you have to stop the bleeding at some point. You just can't keep allowing them to get run after run each inning. They scored 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and they just kept piling on, and that did it.
I thought to myself, I knew Vitello, or I had to step away for like 20 minutes, maybe 15. I've had a heck of a day. My iPhone, it's dead. Well, it's not dead. It's a brand new phone, but I can't get into it till tomorrow because it's locked, because it reset a new update, and when the phone shut off, turned back on, I needed my password, and I couldn't remember the password because you never use your Apple password unless you're, getting apps all the time, which I probably haven't had a new app in 6 months. And so when's the last time I used a password? And, I'm not techie. I don't put them in places that you should. And, and I try and keep it up here, and this thing's gone. CTE setting in. So anyway, what was I going with? Oh, I had to use my wife's phone to check, I got my wife's phone and I got my phone right here, but I wanted to see the box score because I thought, well, maybe Arise already pinch hit. Let's see. Because the time to pinch hit Arise was after the double by Devers. Let me look at the box score here again, because somebody came up. I think it was Rodriguez. He pinch hit Gilbert. All right. Now, here's the thing. We've talked about not wait. He pinch hit Gilbert so Gilbert could take over. Not Gilbert, but Brennan. Brennan came in and pinch hit for Rodriguez with a man on second base. Why don't you put in Arise at that point? It's a 3-run. It's down to 3 runs. Maybe he knocks in a run with 1 out, and then you can move Schmidt to left field, and Arise could play second base in the top of the 9th. This was the bottom of the 8th inning. Why didn't you just bring in Arise? Instead, he leads Arise off in the 9th, but Arise is, I don't know. It just, to me, It was whatever. It's not the end of the world. Couple of other things of note tonight. Eldridge gets oracled after Devers got oracled twice over the weekend. That's 3 home runs the Giants missed out on. Look, today's game is a different game than when the Giants won 3 World Series. It is a long ball game today. The teams that are going to win the World Series are probably going to be some of the top home run teams in baseball. It's not a game where you manufacture a lot of runs and you win 2-1 in today's game. Like the Giants used to win 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 all the time, right? So Eldridge blasts off the lefty, right? He hits Rodriguez, he smokes a double, and then he smokes one like 412 to the deepest part of the yard. That's a home run in 29 other ballparks. So why I don't think Eldridge will retire a Giant unless they sign him to a early deal in the next year, like one of those 10-year type deals, and they get him in his early arbitration years, and he's going to walk as a free agent at 27 when he's in the prime of his career, and he's going to get the heck out of Oracle Park because he's going to say, I don't have to play in this park and get robbed all the time. So Devers, I bet if he had his choice, there's no way he would play here. No way.
Well, at least he is learning he has to run out of the box. He can't just watch the home run and then watch it hit off the wall and then have it be close play at second base. So, you got to learn that. It's probably not a home run over there.
Right.
That gets really deep out there, and, you can hit it down the line and it's fine. But when you hit it left of that, it is hard to get it out.
Yeah.
Now, Ketel Marte hit it to left field, and no problem getting it out there.
He smoked that. And they were talking on the Diamondbacks broadcast today, Dallas, about, they said before he even came up, they go, Eric Miller's on the mound. He's going to have to face Marte from the right side. Tony Vitello said last week that after facing Marte, flipping him around, facing a different lefty, it was Gage. Was it Gage? I think it was Gage. Yeah. They said it's a different lefty, but Tony said the game was on him for turning Marte around, and he's going to do it again. This was all like a batter or two before Marte comes up, and then he just smokes it.
Why don't you have him hit left and have him have to hit it out to try to hit it to the big part of the park where Devers and Eldridge hit it. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
Hit right and have a chance to hit a home run like Adames and Haas even.
Yeah.
Haas hit that pretty good. He tagged that.
Yeah, it was yeah. He hit that well, and so did Damas got a hold of one. So
Casey, of course, right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. Yeah. I want to hear. Go ahead and cover something. I'm looking for something that I wanted to find if I can play it.
Sure. So this game, it wasn't a complete. It was a loss, but there was some good takeaways. I thought they were more competitive this game. It wasn't just a complete. Sorry, can you hear me now, Dan?
Did you lose your volume? Are you muted again?
Yeah, I lost my volume. You can hear me now.
Oh, yeah.
Every time someone effing calls me,
I always put my phone on do not disturb during the show. Yeah. So hold on here. I'm in the background listening to something else here. So hold on here. Come on. All
So
right.
anyway,
So
it was good to see Barracoto get his first hit. Unfortunately, when he goes back and shows his kids the video someday of his first hit, they're going to be wearing these clown outfits, and the kids are going to be like, "Well, what team was that, Dad? Was that some sort of double A team that are called the Giants?" Nope, it was the San Francisco
yep.
Giants. We just
Yep.
wore these funny uniforms on Tuesdays, so.
Yep.
Kind of like
It
Devers'
is.
first game with the Giants when he signed the contract and everything, and they hand him the jersey, and he's like, "What the hell's this?"
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's his name? Rodriguez out in left field. Another ball goes in his glove, falls out. I
Yeah,
mean, this is
that
just
experiment is over. It's got to stop.
jeez. This is the third time. Uh,
I got to pop away 1 minute, Dan. I'll be right back.
all right. All right, guys. So this is pretty rough right now. Giants losing now 11 under, 22 and 33. And I told you this is going to happen. They win 2 in a row and everybody gets excited. Look, all you casuals out there that come at me on Twitter because I tell you the truth about this team, you get all, your panties in a wad and you come at me and you don't like my takes. Well, enjoy not making the playoffs probably this decade. Okay. I feel pretty comfortable in saying as other teams get better, you look at the Pirates, they're getting better, right? The Mets are horrible this year, but they're not going to stay down with the money that owner has and will spend. They'll figure it out. Dan, stop being negative. Yeah. I know you're kidding, but Arizona has won 10 of 12. I heard him on Major League Baseball talking today on the radio this morning, and they were talking about the Denver or the Arizona team. And they said they're beating up on the bad teams they have to beat up on, and that's Colorado and the Giants. Okay. They're beating up on the teams. They say that's what good teams do. They beat up on bad teams. You have to beat the bad teams. You remember the Giants in 21, they beat up on a lot of teams and they won, 11 out of 13, 12 out of 13 against the crappy teams. So this is a really bad team. Hey, thanks, Mascadoro. I appreciate it. Arizona bench is better than most of our starters, says Father. Yeah, they got a good bench. They got Pavin Smith and Jordan Lawler coming back in the next week or two. The team, they traded Alec Thomas because they have other guys coming that are on the injury list. Jordan Lawler can play the outfield, so can Pavin Smith. He can play first base. Look, and did you notice? I noticed Vargas, the 34-year-old tonight, flying down the line to avoid a double play to make sure the run scored from third base. That's just what winning baseball teams do. The Diamondbacks are, they're going to go for the sweep tomorrow. Giants have it's going to be a tough time for the Giants tomorrow. They've got McDonald, I believe, going, right? McDonald versus Soroka. Not an easy game. So, hey, Johnny.
Gotta like your chances a little better than Mahle, though. God, you see that the
Mahle,
lineup, the starters tonight, and it's like, boy, I don't give the Giants much of a chance in this game.
Yeah. Rough. Rough. Hold on here. Just keep going. I'm trying to find something here.
The chat is They're a little cranky tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
Sour Shoes says Devers has value again. Just trade him. Well, I'm sure the phone will be ringing if he does indeed have value. Adames stinks on defense. Another error tonight. I mean, and then on 2 different at bats, he struck out on pitches that were, one was a foot outside, like 12 inches. It was way outside. He had no business swinging at it, struck out. And then another one was in the dirt.
They really miss Elliot Ramos, I think, too.
Yeah. But Ramos and Lee, I mean, I assume Lee will be back soon. His time on the IL is going to be up here soon. Ramos, I don't think we see him until July. Is what
I think it'll be June. I think it'll be. Don't you think it'll probably be like mid-June?
I don't know.
It could be.
Pavlovich said today it might be July.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
We'll see on that.
Wow. Hold on one second.
Vitello is taking some heat. I don't know that it's his fault completely when guys don't perform, but I don't know. Like, it might be nitpicking, but you look at the lineup today. Let me pull it up. So we've got Adames leading off again. We all know how we feel on that, but without Lee, without a leadoff hitter, you know, I could see that. Fine. Adames leads off. Now Schmidt's at second base, so you move Schmidt to hitting second, which I guess is taking Ariza's spot, but or maybe since Ariza is gone, Schmidt just moves down. In the current, you know, the common thinking right now is that you have your best hitter hitting second, and so you know, having Schmidt hit second, okay. But Rodriguez in left field, it's a question mark, right?
Yep.
Can't Rodriguez play second base?
He can.
Or is he only a third baseman?
No, he can play second. He played second in the in spring training this year. Absolutely.
So I guess they like him in the outfield better than Schmidt in the outfield.
I don't know. Who knows what they're thinking?
That really seemed odd to me. And then now where it gets questionable. They now have Chapman. I guess he has some pretty good career numbers against Eduardo Rodriguez. So that must be the reason he's hitting third. But that raises an eyebrow because he's not been that good lately. He's been coming out of it a little bit, but he's still striking out a lot. Chapman today, in all fairness, he walked 3 times. That is good to see because he has not been walking at all. The Giants in general don't walk at all. As a matter of fact, the 3 walks tonight the Giants produced were all Matt Chapman. Nobody else walked tonight. So I can't be too hard on Chapman, but I was like, why is he hitting third? Then Devers is up.
Yeah, why is Chapman hitting third? I could not believe that tonight.
Then they've got Bader after Devers. And I'm like, okay, well, Bader, he's been hitting some grand slams lately. He's got some, been hitting the home runs down the line. Fine. But then they put Rodriguez before Eldridge. Like, why is Rodriguez ahead of Eldridge in the order? Why don't you have Eldridge backing up Devers, the big bopper? And you get the power in the middle of the order.
Yeah.
Rodriguez doesn't have any power, and he hasn't really been hitting. He's hitting 211 on the year, so seems odd. Now, of course, Eldridge isn't hitting either. He's hitting 178, so I can see,
right.
But I do think that Eldridge gives you a more competitive at bat, even though the numbers so far don't bear it out. Eldridge is taking pitches. There's several full counts. I don't know. I like his at bats. He hits the ball hard, and sometimes it's right at somebody, and sometimes it's to the wall, and the guy catches it. But I think it's competitive at bats. I really do. And against a lefty tonight, I was surprised. I was like, oh, at least they're playing Eldridge. His splits in the minor leagues versus lefties were fine. He's quite good against lefties. So they put him in there today, and he gets a hit right away off of him and hit another one 400 feet. So to an out, but that would have been a home run in 29 other ballparks. So I think Eldridge is fine. Haas is catching today, so we had no Susac, but Haas did hit another one of his signature home runs. So that's his third of the year. He's one of the team leaders now, and he started about 3 games.
Yeah, it's so rough watching this team. I was trying to find a piece. I've been looking for it. I should have looked for it earlier tonight, but I got busy. I heard I got brought up on Joe Shasky's show today.
You did by name?
Yeah. But he didn't bring up I don't know if anybody heard it. Los told me about it. I'm trying to find it because he brought up my tweet about Bader and the
running down the line. Yeah, that was a really good point. That was an astute observation, I have to say. That was really that was eye-opening.
I wanted to hear it because I haven't heard it, but from what I heard, it was something like he can be over the top at times. I can't remember talking about me. I don't know the full what was said. So
but they've got plenty of hosts on that radio station that can also be over the top at times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Miller, you're right. That is what I'm saying. You're putting it better than I am, but yes, I like what he has the potential, and I like to see what he can be, and that's why when he comes up to bat, I'm tuning in. I might be looking at my phone or something when Jesus Rodriguez is at the plate, or Gilbert, whoever else. But if Eldridge is coming up, I perk up, I look at the screen, and I'm going to see if he tags one.
I'll tell you the positives on this team. If you want to, I ripped Devers, and rightfully so, through the month of April. He was just god awful. He was the worst. He was the worst player in baseball. Actually, he had the lowest everything. He was bad, but he's having a really good May, and he looks like the hitter the Giants traded for right now. So you kind of look up at Devers and go, yeah, this guy can hit. You like when Eldridge comes up. You like when Casey comes up. Get rid of Adames and Chapman, and maybe you can afford to keep Devers around. Maybe Devers just becomes that full-time DH for the next few years and or at least 50-50. Get Bryce into the game. Get him in first base. He needs to be into the game. But let's go with the youngsters, man. Let's just go with an outfield of, when Ramos comes back, how about just Ramos, McRae, and Barracuda? What do we need to see Jung-Hoo Lee and Bader for? They're not doing anything. They're not going to be anything special. Whether Barracuda even makes it or not, let's just see him. Whether McRae makes it or not, let's see him. He can't be a whole lot worse than Jung-Hoo Lee. He's going to give you probably some more power, and he's probably going to give you more stolen bases.
Wait, you think he can steal more bases than Jung-Hoo Lee?
Oh, of course.
Because, Jung-Hoo Lee does have 0 stolen bases this year.
Yeah. I mean, let's just get – and then you know what? If the season's moving along and it's going to go as bad as I think it's going to go, and, let's get Bo Davidson up to AAA at some point, and maybe we see a little Bo Davidson toward the end of the year. Yeah, exactly, Gravy. Let's stop putting catchers in the outfield that can't cover any ground. Let's get some athleticism out there. I thought that was the whole idea in the offseason of getting Bader and going, now I know Lee's hurt and Ramos is hurt, but this team had no outfielders on the 40-man roster. Bring up McRae. What the heck? See if somebody will take Lee off your hands, because I'll tell you what, if you can't get rid of Lee right now, next year is his fourth year, right? Fourth year?
Who?
Lee? Yes. It was 24, 25.
This is his third year, yeah.
So after next year, he has an opt-out. If he doesn't opt out, you got him for 2 more years. After that.
E. Miller says that McRae's hitting 220 in the Arizona Complex League.
No.
So if you want to see McRae, you can just drive over there, Dan.
He's in the PCL, not the ACL. He's with Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
That's wrong. Maybe he meant to say PCL.
I know he's not doing great in Sacramento.
Yeah, he's not doing great, but what the heck? At this point, you're playing Rodriguez out of position, and I don't know. The whole team's a mess. I mean, I was thinking about this. Sour Shoe says JHL Farhan stench remains. I got to thinking about this today as I was driving, thinking about Farhan versus Buster. And I couldn't stand Farhan, right? I mean, just absolutely atrocious. But I'm starting to wonder if Farhan was actually a smarter, more experienced executive when it came to evaluating talent. Like, he didn't want to give Chris Bryant a deal because he said Chris Bryant swing will not age well. And he was right. He's had nothing but back problems. He did not want to give Chapman 6 years and a no trade clause. I don't think Farhan would have signed Adames to 7 years. Now, the things about Farhan that I couldn't stand is he wouldn't take risk or trade guys when he needed to trade it. He was afraid to pull triggers. Buster seems much quicker to pull a trigger. He's done it with, Harrison, and he's done it with Bailey. But Farhan was a little bit more cautious, and it looks like, Farhan did draft Eldridge, did draft Schmidt, did draft Harrison. I'm wondering if Farhan's ability to spot some talent, if we, was trying his hardest to figure ways out to develop these guys and bring up a winning thing. Now, Farhan did go ahead and sign Chapman, which he had Schmidt, so I was kind of pissed off about that. I'm like, why are you signing Matt Chapman to a deal when you have Casey starting his second year, 2024, and you already said he's the next Matt Chapman?
All right, we have a new banner for Dan here. Here it is.
No, it'd be rehire Farhan.
Well, no, I only had to change one letter. We had one that said fire Farhan, and I just had to change it to an H.
You just changed it. Yeah, let's not hire Farhan. I do not want Farhan back in here. Yeah, Gravy. Exactly. He was too analytical to, have the balls to make a major move. Exactly. But talent-wise, it doesn't seem like there's anybody in the building that has a clue about what to do with young talent. Now we're going to see. I mean, they did sign Hernandez. I mean, Joshar, I believe, was part of Farhan's deal before he, was fired. So he was already committed to the Giants. But let's just kind of see. Yeah, Farhan, exactly. Farhan was good at talent evaluation. Yes, the Peter principle got him. Once he got too far high, he went past his ability to run the whole operation. Farhan was not a guy that runs a whole operation well, but he seemed to be good at spotting some talent. I think Farhan had a little bit better baseball mind to run an executive office than Posey. It sure seems like it. I mean, he did hire Kapler, and Kapler let him do all that stuff to bring in those coaches. Now, Kapler was a weird dude, and I'm glad he's gone. But I think Kapler was able to, get the most out of these guys in 2021. Oh, by the way, Kyle Harrison tonight, just to give you guys a heads up, hire Kapler. Let me pull up the stats here for Kyle Harrison, who won tonight, and he is now, Dodgers are killing the Rockies. By the way, guys, the Rockies are getting their butts handed to them on this road trip. They went to Arizona, lost 3 of 4. They're in LA. They lost last night. They're losing 15-6. No, they lost 15-6 tonight. They will get swept tomorrow, and the Giants are likely to get swept tomorrow. And then the Giants go to Colorado, where Colorado will come alive, and because they win at home, they're horrible on the road. I'm thinking the Rockies may take 2 or 3 from the Giants this weekend.
Boy, that would be a tough one. That'd be a tough pill to swallow.
Prepare yourself for it. Prepare yourself for it, because the Rockies are getting trounced on the road, and they will win home games this year. So I think they will bounce back after being on a long losing streak. I'm looking for the Milwaukee. Here it is, 6-0. Kyle Harrison line tonight for Kyle Harrison, 6 innings, 4 hits, only 2 strikeouts though, no walks, no runs. His ERA, he is 6-1 with a 1.57 ERA. Kyle Harrison. Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
The guy we had. So anyway, I am not saying Farhan is the guy. I couldn't stand Farhan. I'm just saying, I don't think Buster is really, when it comes to just evaluation and run, I don't think this is how bad I think Buster might be. Not good. And as the Giants continue to fall, the good news is, guys, if there's some good news, you saw Eldridge, you saw Schmidt pop another one. Casey's got 12 homers now. He got 3 more ribs tonight, or two ribs. Solo homer in the first, and then a base hit after the triple by Adames. So it's I think this sums it up right here. Sour shoes, fire Buster, higher experience. Well, number one, they'll never fire Buster because he's an owner. But you're right, higher experience. And until they're gone, Buster's out of the picture, Giants are toast. I don't trust them. I don't trust them to get paranoid in a year and try to make this thing work. And he starts trading for older stars that were has-beens. Like, I could see him trading off, for example, I could see a Buster deal like trading for Bryce Harper because the Phillies are falling apart and they're going to rebuild. And they trade for Bryce and they have 3 first basemen, 2 Bryces and a Devers. And
I don't see that happening.
And
I think the long-term deals are going to be a thing of the past.
He trades away Joe Shar or Hernandez. Watch him start trading some of the farm because he's paranoid and he's trying to win now. Because if you just come out and say we're rebuilding like St. Louis did, just go ahead and just tell the fans we're going to rebuild. This is the way we have to do it, and just do it.
I'm beginning to think it might be moving in that direction because it looks like to me that Matt Chapman is he's gone. I think he's checked out. I think he's going to get moved. I do.
He may be resigning himself to the fact that
I think they've talked to him about it already.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right on that. Chapman is not going to go trade for a Harper. That's not going to be a deal that anybody's going to do. Chapman is going to be dealt for probably a prospect or 2, and the Giants will have to probably fork over the salary. If the Giants get rid of Chapman and don't get any good prospects, somebody's going to take on the salary.
That's what will happen. I think someone will take on the salary. The Giants will get, some nobody, and they'll just move off of it, put Schmidt at third, and you've just upgraded your team by subtraction.
Maybe so. Hopefully.
Because one of the things is that he's here because he's this clubhouse guy. He's the leader of the team. He's going to make sure everybody catches the effing ball, all this stuff. But guess what? It's not working. The team is floundering, and they don't seem to be able to right the ship. So you're going to have to change the chemistry in that clubhouse, and that's what you do. You trade the leader, and you get someone else in there that's going to pick up the reins, and maybe it's Elliot Ramos picks it up and says, "All right, I'm leading this team now," or who knows? It might be somebody else, but won't be Devers. I don't think it's Adames. I think you can't have a guy that's screwing around and doesn't care and makes mistakes every single game and dumps Gatorade when you're 10 games under. It's tone deaf. So It's not Adames. That is not working either. So if this team continues to flounder and it's just one home run and garbage time at the end of the game, he might be going too. So I think it's going to be interesting to see between now and the trade deadline. Yeah, he has to agree, but I don't think he's happy right now. Chapman doesn't look like he's a happy camper to me to go up to the plate here. He seems like he's just going through the motions, and it doesn't even seem like he used to seem a little pissed off that he was sucking, but now he seems to be resigned to the fact that it doesn't really matter. That's just me reading body language.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I kind of thought that tonight. The body language looked like when he struck out, he just kind of looked like, I don't know. This team is, I think, is the more losing they do, the worse it gets for these guys. And I think guys like Chapman, this is the 3rd year of non-winning baseball. I bet you, I wouldn't shock me if they continue to lose through the month of June, that Logan Webb goes to Buster and says, I get me out. Or his agent goes to him. His agent just says, you know what? Can't take this. This is 5th year, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, fifth year of losing baseball, and I don't know. I by the way, Mahle, we love Boch, right? We love Boch, but the reason Mahle is a giant is because of Bruce Bochy's recommendation this offseason.
Yeah. Well, look at how he pitched last year. He was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't have a track record, He had a good year, but historically he's not been that good. So he's kind of returning to the norm. Yeah. And I don't think you run him out there again. I think McDonald pitches tomorrow, and if he pitches well tomorrow, it's his job. That's what I think happens. And then Mahle goes to the bullpen, and he can fill in when the game gets out of hand.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens. We'll see in a week. A lot of people saying, well, we'll go to 6-man rotation for a while. We'll just skip. We'll have Logan Webb pitch on 5 days, or when he's feeling healthy, or maybe leave him on 6 days for now until he's, gets back to his normal self. And they might kick the can down the road a couple of weeks, but I think that's where it is going eventually, is that McDonald will take that spot. I see, just looking at the probables, today versus tomorrow, I think they have a much better chance of winning tomorrow, just based on starting pitcher. You just have confidence in him. Mahle pitched better tonight than he has recently, but still gave up. He walked a guy, gave up a huge home run. Right? Is that what happened? I can't even remember now. Yeah. How many did he give up? 3?
Yeah.
3 earned runs. And then I don't know who got the unearned run got pinned on. It must have been that was Wynn had the unearned run on the Adames throwing error. So they need to play cleaner. I think the Mahle experiment needs to end and go with McDonald, and no more Jesus Rodriguez in the outfield. He's missing every ball that's a borderline play. You should be able to catch half of them, but if it's close, he's not catching it. And that's just no good. You feel better about Schmidt out there than you do about him.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to change, because you can't be just giving runs away.
Yeah. The catching, guys, it's rough. It's a rough watch. It's a very rough watch. Let's see. Hold on here. Why can't I find this thing?
I don't know what your definition of solid is, but it's both. There's plenty of blame to go around on both sides of the ball. So I wouldn't call the pitching solid. I mean, Webb has not been solid. Webb has been hurt, but he's not been good. Ray has been not throwing strikes, walking all kinds of guys, giving up runs. He has not been good. Roop is okay. Then he has a bad inning once a game, and it's hard for them to survive that. Hauser has been great the last 4 starts. He's the best out of the last 4.
Yeah.
Of the 5 right now. He's the best one going. McDonald has been good. He had 1 bad inning where he gave up 9 runs. 1 bad inning. Other than that, he didn't give up a hit that game. So you have to give him 1 bad inning and chalk that up as, we'll give him a pass on that, and hopefully he can right the ship and get back to it tomorrow. So question mark on McDonald. Hauser's been better, the last month, and Mahle not good. Worst starting pitcher in baseball. he's the worst starting pitcher in baseball because he's still pitching. Normally when guys pitch that bad, they get yanked and then they don't pitch anymore. So he had a chance tonight. He wasn't as bad as he was, but he not good enough to get the job done. 3 runs in 5 innings. Yeah, I don't know if that buys him one more start, but I wouldn't go that direction. So, yeah, the starting pitching not good, and then the bullpen inconsistent. Eric Miller, since he's been back from injury, has been bad. He has been no bueno. He's earned run average is up to 4.7. He's just been walking guys and giving up home runs, and that's been tough. So Keaton Wynn, he's one that is getting the job done still. So he's one that you can hang your hat on. Killian's been all right. Who else has been okay
on the pitching staff?
In the pen.
Killian, you talking about Killian?
They've got the 4 lefties. Gage has been okay, inconsistent, giving up a couple, but not that bad. He's been overall pretty good. Gage has been good. Miller, bad since the injury. Barucki, hit or miss. Half the time he's good, half the time he's bad. And then the other, Henches has been good. So you've got Henches. Those are the 4 lefties in the bullpen for, I don't really can't think of a time when a team has had 4 lefties in the bullpen. Odd construction. Righties, Piguero, I love the guy, but he is not cutting it. I think he's going to be ticketed out of here till he can figure out his control. Who else we got from the right-handed side of the plate?
The right side of the plate or the mound?
Right side of the right-handed relievers.
Relievers? Well, you got Brubaker. You got
Brubaker. Brubaker pitched fine yesterday, didn't he?
Not bad. Not bad. I mean,
Piguero, Killian, Brubaker. Those are your 3 righties in the bullpen. Win, Piguero, Killian, Brubaker. Yeah, so bullpen questionable, starting rotation not good, and the bats. What's our hitting tonight with runners in scoring position? I like to look at this every night. Tonight, Giants 1 for 9. It's always 1 for 9, 1 for 8, 1 for 10. It's always 1.
Yeah,
1.
You know it's not going to be good.
I know, but you think of these 5 runs they scored, maybe they scored some with runners in scoring position. They got a hit with a guy on second. That one time they did. That must have been Schmidt, right?
Schmidt got the hit after the triple.
Right. That was it. That was a runner in scoring position. That was the one time tonight. So the rest of the time, they had chances. They had they had the bases loaded and Devers at the plate. And you're thinking, could the Grand Slam train stay on the tracks? No.
Yeah.
Nope. Not going to happen.
Well,
That's right, Nick. You're right.
What was that? Put that back up again. The Giants are horrible. What?
Horrible with runners on. Yes.
Yeah. RSIP. Yep. Yeah. It's pretty rough, and it's been that way for years. It really has. I mean, the 21 season, they used to knock guys in a lot better, but 21, they lived off the long ball. The Giants in 21, most of their scoring, a large percent of their scoring came off of home runs. It was a 2 or a homer or a 3-run homer. They didn't put up a lot of crooked numbers without the long ball. That was a magical season. But look, this team is It's very, very hard to watch because not only are they playing a mix of young guys, but they're playing the young guys in the wrong positions a lot. Rodriguez out there. Um, you know, uh, it's just at some point, when does Adames get a day off? I mean,
tomorrow.
Well, he hit a home run tonight. Oh, that usually gets you on the bench if you hit one out.
Yeah, usually if you hit a home run, you sit the next day on this team.
Yeah. I don't know. I really just don't understand the whole. I don't know how to say it. They're just. I like the 2017 team that lost 98 games, had more talent. It had Belt. I don't know if it had Panic or if he was starting to go. I think Panic was still there. You had Crawford. You just lost Panda. Or did he come back at that point? He came back somewhere around there.
He came back, I think, for that one.
So maybe it was 18. I'm not sure when Panda came back. But you had Pence. You had some other guys that were, Gorky's, Hernandez. You just had some actual players that were probably better, and you had decent pitching. You had, you had Samardzija, and you had Cueto, and you had Mad Bum, but it just fell apart. And sometimes veteran teams, when they fall apart, and hey, they had the Hall of Fame manager then, Bruce Bochy, too. So you can't just always say it's lack of experience, or the Giants had a lot of experience. They were just starting to get old, and guys were having a bad year, and they didn't do well in 18. 19, that was the year Yaz came, Farhan's first year, and they were under 500. They were under 500 Bochy's last 3 seasons. And what they did is they, Belt, Crawford, and Posey, the big 3 that were left over from those championship teams, had huge years. And they were just, everything clicked, right? And then you had some great signings that came in and contributed. You had the trade. You got Darren Ruff coming over here. You had Estrada playing really well. You had Longoria at third. He was doing pretty well. And things just were clicking in 21. You had the Mike Talkman catch on the blast by Pujols, and he saves the game, and they end up winning the game, and everything just went perfect for them. And then, those guys were done. Posey retires. Crawford was never the same. Belt wasn't the same. And you got to learn to know when things are done. They thought they could. It's very difficult to get guys in their 30s to keep having, big years. Aaron Judge can do it. Seems like Kyle Schwarber can do it. These guys that are just alpha dogs, but if you're not a superstar, and the Giants really, if Buster Posey was not a catcher, you would not say he was a superstar. He would have been a star, but because he caught, he was a superstar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He was a superstar because he played the catcher, and him and Molina were the best catchers, and he was a really solid hitter. But if you look at his numbers, they weren't like superstar, 30 plus homers, 100 plus RBIs all the time. He had
but he hit 300.
He hit 300 a couple times, and he won a batting title, and he won comeback player of the year
for his career, right? What's his career batting average?
Right around, right in that 300 range. But he was a really good hitter, and especially for a catcher. Yeah, 2012 he was a superstar. He was MVP. He had that huge year in 2012. But after that, there was no big hey, this guy's. So the Giants haven't, since a Bonds, they haven't had that superstar hitter. And they really haven't had many star players. That's why everybody was so excited about the Devers trade.
Hitters, yeah. No, they haven't.
Yeah, that's why we were all excited about the Devers trade was this guy's a star. They got a star. They finally got the star hitter that they could never get in free agency. And, he's just not that. He's very solid. If he continues like he is in May and he can keep up,
but the
maintain an average
is so
of
stark. The difference is so stark. When he comes up with the bases loaded, when Bonds came up, you fully expect him to do something good, right?
Oh, yeah. You
When Devers comes up with the bases loaded, I fully expect him to F it up.
Yeah, you don't feel that confident.
No, I don't expect him to get a hit.
Yeah, I did see that, Rob. Yeah, rest in peace to Bob Horner. Bob Horner, drafted number 1 by the Atlanta Braves, never played a minor league game. Out of Arizona State, hits 23 home runs his rookie year and wins Rookie of the Year. Phenomenal. Yeah, Bob Horner, rest in peace. Arizona State guy. I think he was 68 years old. Yeah, what a player he was. Buster War, 45. Well, Chapman's War is pretty decent too. But Chapman's War, hey, Johnny, do me a favor. Look up Matt Chapman's career WAR, please, and let me know. But Chapman's WAR is all defense for the most part. I want to know what Matt Chapman's career WAR is. I think WAR can be overrated. Chapman's WAR made me lose respect for war. There you go, Sauer. Exactly. Yeah, it's. I want to know what his WAR was. No, that's not. Well, that's being funny. What is his career WAR? 43? Is this true? Is this accurate? Let me know, guys. Is that true? See, when you talk about WAR, the Chapman's WAR, this is why you got the money,
That's right. Career WAR 43.
Wow.
But it was 7 in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah. Okay. 7. So 14 of it was 2018 and 2019. Yeah. That's when he was younger. That 2019 season, Chapman was 26 years old, guys. And you're seeing what a young player starting to really get it, be able to do. Now, Casey's 27. Chapman had 36 homers that year, 91 RBIs. If Casey continues at this pace, he's going to be right around there. He's on pace for probably 36, 38, maybe even 40 homers right now. I don't see that. He's played, the Giants have played over 50, they're 22 and 33, so they've played 55 games. But Casey's only played in like 47. Tonight, I believe, was Casey's 47th game. So if you took 47 times 3, that's 141. And Casey has 12 homers right now. He would have 36. That's not going to, it's, I don't see it, but 36 homers after 141. But the Giants have already plus the 8 he's missed, so 149. Yeah, he's on pace for about 38, 39 homers. He's probably going to end up somewhere. My guess would be he's going to come close to 30.
Yeah, I think he'll get 30. I do. I mean, right now he's hitting one every night.
Yeah, this is, I remember that. Chapman's WAR in 24 with the Giants was 7.1. See?
Correct.
And he gave you nothing in clutch moments. He wasn't a productive hitter as far as runners in scoring position. He had a productive year. If you look at his numbers offensively, I think he had like 27 homers, 78 RBIs, something like. I'm going off memory. I'm not looking at it. And he hit like 247, I believe, in 24, if I remember right, which was a good year for him. But he was awful with runners in scoring position. He never, hardly ever came through. That's why he only ended up with 78 RBIs, although he hit third or fourth for the season. So that just tells you that he doesn't, he hit like 206 or something like that with runners in scoring position. So, yeah, I just think, yeah. So why are we talking about Schmidt like he's the next Willie Mays? Who said that? Where do you come up with that? I mean, that's a crazy jump. We're just talking about
no one is talking about that.
Huh?
We're not. I mean,
we're just talking about the home run pace he's on. How do you jump to Willie Mays? Did you say something about Willie Mays?
I did not. But we're excited about Schmidt because he's leading the team in home runs. He's leading the team in OPS. He's playing 5 different positions. He's he's one of the very few bright spots on this team. There's 2 bright spots. There's Luis Ariz and there's Casey Schmidt. That's it. Is there another bright spot? I don't think there is one.
Yeah, we're trying
everybody else on the team is underachieving.
Something positive here. There's nothing we can do. Yeah. Shucks. Schmidt is the next.
We've got Schmidt, we've got Ariz, and then we have Eldridge, and he's not even hitting, but at least he hits the ball 108 miles an hour.
Hits it hard. I like watching Eldridge at bat. That last strikeout he took, called strike 3, did they have any challenges? Because it was very low and he didn't challenge it. Did they? I think they had a challenge. Yes, they did.
They did.
Okay, let me point out something. I want to point out why Eldridge. Here's what you do when you don't play Eldridge. Now, I'm going to jump somewhere, okay? And I know some people are going to go, oh, that's a reach, Dan. You don't know that. No, I don't. This is my hypothesis or whatever. This is my theory why Bryce Eldridge took a called strike 3 and didn't challenge. Because he doesn't have the confidence that he's going to play every day. And if he challenges it and he's wrong, he's probably thinking, crap, that's going to make me look bad. And if he was told that Bryce, you're the man, you're going to be here. I think he has more confidence to challenge that. he walked away like he was dejected. I think he knew it was low. He's challenged before and been right on pitches that were low. He challenged tonight, I think, on a pitch that was low.
Yeah.
That one was pretty much in the same spot.
Challenges on strike 2 and is wrong. Yeah. And then the next pitch is ball 3 that he doesn't challenge and strikes out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just think when you give guys confidence, and they feel like they belong and they can't make mistakes, rookies tend to get penalized when they make too many mistakes. It was a key moment, if I recall. I mean, they were behind, but I can't remember if there was somebody on base or something, but it was late in the game.
If you have one challenge left, you have to be 100% sure, especially if you're a rookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't fault him for not challenging.
Yeah, I don't fault, but it was called strike 3 to end the inning. Wasn't it the 8th inning? I can't do my phone with being out. Let me look. I thought it was the 8th inning. Somebody tell me it was the last out of the inning.
He grounded out to end the 8th inning.
What inning did he strike out then? No, Senior, I haven't found it. Do you have it? If you do have it, email it to me. I cannot get any text right now. My phone is locked up.
The 6th inning, he was called out on strikes.
6th inning, but wasn't there a man on base?
Bader popped out, Rodriguez bunts out, and then Eldridge called out on strikes. No one was on base.
Okay, maybe.
And it was the called strike was
it was a
ball
3-2 pitch
low.
though. It was 3-2. It would have put him on base.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it was something was going. I thought it was something that would have been meaningful, so it would have put him on base. Yeah, my phone is broken. No, my phone is. It was today, Senior. Los said it was in early on in the show, maybe the first hour of the show. So I went through, and you got to be a member only. I could not find the doggone thing. So Los might have texted it to me, but I can't get my text unless I go into my car and turn on my Apple CarPlay. Then trades are suspended. That's right. Trades are suspended. My phone is down. I don't even know what's going on today. Yes. Dan, you were mentioned on 95.7 The Game. Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know. Los told me about it. I was trying to find the clip. Did I get hacked by Susan Slosser? No, I did the stupid thing. My phone updated, right? iOS, new update. And when the phone shut off, it went back on. I'll show you the message I get. That's the message I got right there, guys. iPhone is locked. iPhone locked to the owner. You have to put in your password. I can't remember the password. I'm an idiot. Okay, Lo says he'll locate it. Maybe it's in the second hour. All right. Yeah. So I got CTE. I can't remember my passwords. How often do you use your iPhone or your Apple password? I don't use it ever because it's Face ID, right? You turn on your phone, it recognizes your ugly mug, and then it works. So I never used the Apple ID. It's probably been 8 months to a year. So and they make you change it, which ticks you off. Sometimes they make you change it, and then they go, oh, you can't use the password you used last time or your last one. So you only come up with so many passwords in your life. Download a password manager. Easy for you to say, Mark. You're dealing with a technical geek right here, and geek in the bad way that I don't know anything. Yeah, Larry Bear took it. That's right. Larry Bear. I got Larry Bear syndrome. Did you see that clown in the front row yesterday? Was it yesterday? Sitting down there in the very front in his little seat. He's always got some little special guest. Man, they need to put a little hole. They need to put a little hole right in the netting where Larry Bear sits. Little hole, little line drive, right? Bing! Yeah, who remembers their Apple ID? I grew up in an era where everything, you wrote it down, but then if you write it down, you're afraid someone else will find it. So you try and keep it in your head, which is not good. Yeah, Larry jock sniffing again. Yeah, Larry Bear. We're not Larry Bear fans here on NorCal Sports Network.
It was on the morning show?
It was on the morning show, Morning Roast, yeah.
I can't find it. Oh, well.
It might be in the whole 3-hour block, but the 3-hour block, I think you have to be a member to listen to the whole 3 hours. They put little clips,
Yeah, but you can rewind on YouTube back to the start of the show.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's in the second hour.
I can't see
if you can find it. Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you going to do?
Oh, Senior says he thinks he's close to finding it. Hold on. Interesting. Larry Bear. Larry Bear, he's famous on NorCal Sports Network. People don't like Larry Bear a lot. I wonder if the people that work for the Giants actually probably have to kiss his butt, Look at George, man. George coming hard at Larry Bear. We need a Larry Bear song. Senior, give me a Larry Bear song, please. Work on giving me a Larry Bear song and make it really slam him hard. We'll play it. He's a weasel. Yeah, kind of does, doesn't he? Look at this line, Dallas. Larry Bear has a face you want to punch. Yeah, ask Lou Marston about Larry Bear. Lou's got some great Larry Bear stories. They're hilarious. Maybe I'll have Lou on the show and have him talk about Larry Bear. Once I can get my phone up and working, I'll tomorrow, hopefully, I will text Lou and ask him to come on here and do a Larry Bear true story. Yeah. Oh, I can take it into an Apple store. Okay. Maybe I can do that if I can't get it working tomorrow. It's supposed to be 24 hours. Let me check my email and see if they updated me. Nope. Nope. Apple. Thanks for contacting Apple support. Yeah. Jeez. I even did a to identify myself. They said, they give you the last 4 numbers of a credit card. So they ask you to fill in the whole credit card number along with the expiration date and the 3-digit CCV code. I did all of that. And I'm looking right at my card, write it all in. It's obviously I'm the owner of the phone. And they set it up that they shut you down for 24 hours. they were going to shut me down for 72 hours until I got my wife's phone and tried to show my identity through her phone. It's just a pain. I was really ready to just go Android today. Just screw Apple. Pissed me off so bad. Hey, good night, KC. Have a good night. Adamas bullied Buster into that contract, not Larry Bear, surely. Yeah, that is true.
Well, I'm not going to find it.
Yeah, I'm not going to find it either for me. Artie Moreno, Larry Bear, the Menagian brothers, Posey and Greg Johnson. What a group. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, I hope Buster doesn't ruin his legacy. I don't think he ever will as a player. But if this thing goes into like a really bad tailspin this year and they do lose 95 games and then they run it back next year with the same group or close to it and they lose 95 again. I found it. 1 hour, 36 minutes, 20-second mark. How do you send it to us? Los? 1 hour, 36, but I don't have access. Do you have access to the whole show, Dallas?
I'm listening to it. Let's see.
1 hour, 36 minutes. Los the man.
There it is. Got it.
How do you do? Pull it up and you can just share it?
Yep. Hold on. One moment. Pulling it up.
Yeah, no tweets for B today. I did not have.
Yeah. It's Harrison Bader.
Is he batting 176?
175, Joe.
Okay, 175.
Gave him a little too much credit there.
You know, yesterday, do you have the Diamondbacks broadcast?
I have it right now.
The Bader play. There was
I
a
have
play.
the Adamas one. Yeah.
Well, do you have the Bader one where he hits the ground ball and bat flips and jogs down the line?
Do you hear that, Dan?
Yeah, I hear it. Yep.
All right, let me share the screen.
He didn't mention NorCal, I don't think, but
he does.
Oh, we can get that, though.
I mean, there were two plays that happened back to back, and I got to
Come on. Is that here? Just do this.
credit. What's the guy's name? Dan on Twitter. I always mispronounce his last name, but
Devone?
No, it's a different guy. He's got a NorCal Sports YouTube channel, and he watches all the Giants games. He's intense, and I love the guy for it.
Oh, he's a big fan. Okay.
That game flipped yesterday on a couple of plays. There were some hustle plays, and there was one where a guy hit a basic ground ball to Willie Adames. Now, one thing that I work with a lot of kids on infield play, it's like you see a lot of kids, I call it pumping, meaning with the ball, they separate and then pump into the glove as they're about to throw. You got to separate, shuffle, throw, or shuffle, shuffle, then throw. And Adames
it's like a double clutch almost, yeah.
Basically. And look, some guys can get away with it because of their arm or because of how quickly they feel the ball or whatever, but there's situational awareness. He just lollygags into a normal ground ball that the Diamondbacks are busting their humps to get down the line. And here's the Arizona, not the Giants broadcast, the Arizona broadcast, basically explaining the hustle play by the Diamondbacks player that set up the inning that gave them the lead in the game.
And we have a part one and a part two. Here's part one.
Tay Carroll due up here in the inning. That's a ground ball right to Adames at shortstop. High throw, and he throws it away. Willie Adames is not the most dependable defensive shortstop there is. And boy, that one sailed high. It's an E6, and Troy's at second as the tying run.
And here's part two.
And I tell you what does that right here. If you go back on the replay, you'll
That's
see Tommy
Gonzo.
Troy. Watch him hustling right out of the box. Here's a routine ground ball to short. Adames will get that ball, and he looks up, and then he speeds it up. Watch this right here. Watch Adames. He's taking his time. He looks up, and then he kind of hurries it because he sees Tommy Troy's busting it down that line.
Well, Dave McKay noticed that, and that's going to go on the base running report card as a plus.
So
And
when
that's Steve Berthium and Bob Brenly.
when you know the other team is suspect defensively, you bust your hump down that line even more because you know you could beat something out.
Yeah.
I think that's a really telling sequence right there on just where the Giants are at with Adames. I mean, it's just, he's just not their answer long-term at shortstop.
Wow.
Even though he's got a 7-year deal, like he's not. He will be moved to second base at some point.
Jesus, what a mistake that's been, that contract.
And he's hitting right now.
He's hitting. His last
hitting right
15
now.
games, he's batting .328, on base percentage .379, he's slugging .541. He's been hitting the last handful of series. I'll give him that. He's also leading the big leagues in errors again.
9.
9. And
10
team
tonight.
That type of error you never saw from Crawford.
this team isn't good enough to beat themselves like that. You can't give other teams like the Diamondbacks, who are a good team right now.
They're a speedy team,
They're
too.
a speedy team. They're a division rival team that has the scouting report and knows your tells and weaknesses. They will capitalize on that. And right now,
right.
Joe, the Giants aren't a good enough team.
Let me turn this.
They can't do that.
Yeah, I think Bryce would have had that ball yesterday. He's 6'7". He's a good 5 inches taller than Devers. What is Devers, like 6'2", maybe? I don't know, 6'1". I don't know what Devers is, but
Well, if you look at the thumbnail tonight, he's not too tall.
yeah, insane. We probably do have more viewers on YouTube for sure. Yeah. But hey, look, the only reason I pointed it out, because when I played ball as a kid, it was so ingrained in me. I had a great coach, and, I just learned so much about the game as a 9-year-old kid that you haul ass every time. If you didn't play. Look, I saw my coach pull guys out of the game in the middle of the game for doing not a physical error. He never got on your case for physical errors. He expected physical errors. He could not handle mental mistakes where you weren't backing up, where you weren't doing something you were supposed to be. If you didn't hustle, you just got yanked. You just send another kid out there, and you learned right away, okay, you want to play? You better hustle. And that's why I got on the Devers pop-up the other day. And I got into a little bit of a battle. I could show you on Twitter a couple of guys that are part of 95.7 The Game, Sterling Bennett and Steven Rosado. They were both coming at me on the Devers play. And all as I said is, they said, we don't want Devers flying down the line, pulling a hammy. I go, didn't have to run full speed. All he had to do when the ball went up in the air was jog to first base. And I made the point that I didn't think Devers was a very smart IQ player of baseball, because if you remember that game, Devers hit a grand slam after Vargas in the inning missed Chapman's ball for a double on a routine pop-up, lost it in the sun, and then I think it was Devers that hit the foul ball, and he missed that too, and at third base. So balls were dropping that day. Devers hits a skyscraper on the infield, and he just goes like this, Dallas. He just sat there and watched it for 3 seconds, and then he said, oh, crap, that thing's going to go fair. It might drop. And he starts sprinting down the line. Remember, they had the they had the review on it.
I remember.
They called him safe, I think, originally, and then they replayed it, and he was out. And these guys were saying you can't blame Devers for thinking it was a foul ball. And I'm like, tell me you never played baseball without telling me you didn't play baseball. Come on, dude. You just watched two balls drop, and the ball landed pretty closer to the mound than it did closer to the foul line. And to me, it was pretty telling. In fact, I'm just going to play it. We played it the other day. Well, maybe it was. It was halfway between the line but is it too much to ask a team that's not playing well to just run the? Look, there it is. There it is. Look at him looking. He's looking. Oh, there I go. I'm sprinting. And it lands. Now, let's do this again. Okay, Rafi, just jog down to first base. Jog. Now he's got to go into it. And he's out. All he had to do is jog from the very beginning, and he's safe. And these guys wanted to tell me that you can't blame Devers for not hustling on a foul, thinking it was a foul ball. It's too close not to hustle. And you didn't have to really blaze down the line. Yeah, Rafi's had some soft tissue injuries. You don't want him going full speed on everything, I guess, but just jog down the line.
Well, he did have to blaze down the line.
But he did. Yeah, exactly. They said you don't want him blazing. I go, but you did, but he did blaze down the line.
If he had taken off initially, then
wouldn't it have been fitting if Rafi Devers pulled a hammy on that? That would have been like the ultimate, like, oh, I had to hustle because I wasn't hustling, and then I pulled a hammy. Look, Guys pull muscles all the time. Tonight, Nolan Arenado going down the line, tighten in the abductor, the groin area. They pulled him precautionary. He probably, my guess is he'll sit tomorrow. But, what do you do? Anyway, time to get out of here.
Time to get out.
Yep. Oh, there we go. I see your chat there. Let me see. What do we got in here? Let me just check. We got some stuff in here from Lowe's and Senior. Let me go down the chat. Yep. Bryce, he's blocking Bryce. Look at what the Giants have done. Think about this. I told everyone last year this Devers thing wasn't going to be good, not because he isn't a decent power bat, but because he's a selfish diva. Everyone pushed back, and now here we are. Okay, let's think about this, guys. Think about this with the Giants. They brought in Matt Chapman when they had Casey Schmidt. Now, I was saying Casey was the better player going forward than Chapman was. I called it. I saw him in the minors. He hit 21 home runs like in 2021, I think it was. Dude got hit right in the face in a game and had to, miss like 10 games. He's a gamer. And the Giants signed Chapman thinking they're ready to win when they weren't. And they blocked Casey. Now they trade for Devers and they block Bryce. Imagine on the corners, if you had Bryce and Casey, you probably have between the two of those guys 60 to 70 home runs. Between Schmidt and Eldridge, and you're paying them $800,000 each, or $1.6 million roughly, compared to close to 30 for Devers and 25 for Chapman. 54, 55. Call it 54 million. 54 million minus 1.6. That is $52.5 million savings. Okay. Then imagine if you had Otto Lopez at shortstop, because you had him and they didn't recognize that talent. He only leads the majors in hitting. And as Senior says, you'd still have Kyle Harrison. And you wouldn't have needed Adames. Your infield could be, you could go with Arise. You could have Eldridge, Arise, Otto, Lopez, and at third, Casey Schmidt. And imagine with all that extra money, your payroll's below $200 million. You could probably go get two aces, team them up with Webb and Roop, and you got like 4 solid pitchers. You'd probably be in the playoff hunt.
Yep. Well, it's too bad we don't have a time machine.
It's not even just a time machine. It's like, why did I see it and the front office didn't? I said when Otto Lopez, Los and I were sitting down there at Scottsdale Stadium and we're watching Otto Lopez. We watched him in drills, and then we watched him in some games, 1 or 2 games, and we're like, man, this guy looks good. Los is like, man, look at the speed, the athleticism in that guy. I go, yeah, I know. Where'd this guy come from? And we never heard of him before, but you could see he had talent. You could just see it. And if you've been around the game long enough, you should recognize that certain guys look better in their movement, in their just everything the way they move, the way they position themselves, the way they run. And you just saw pure speed and athleticism. And I'm like, man, this guy's going to be a good player. And then we saw some power in him a couple times. Like, whoa, that guy can hit the ball. And what do? They cut him. So you'd have 3 guys in there, with Bryce, only 21, Casey's 27. I think Lopez is right around there. You would just have a blast. Let me pull up my email here real quick from Senior here. Just 1 second, then we'll get out of here. Forward.
Yep, it sure would be nice to never make a mistake on these prospects.
Yeah, it's tough. You miss more than you actually hit, to be honest with you. But you could look at guys and see guys like what's his mug, Christian Arroyo, right? Remember him? And you can go, he's okay, but he looks kind of like every other. I'll just say it. Can I just say it?
No.
Don't say it.
Probably not.
Maybe I'll put it in the, hold on here. Put it in the private chat. Can I say that?
You can, yeah.
Okay, I can say it. I'll just point it out that, look, he doesn't, when I look at Christian Arroyo and I see a guy, I go, he's not no Bobby Witt, but my comment was he just kind of looked like every other white dude playing baseball. Not a lot of speed, not a lot of flair, just kind of, fundamentally sound, but doesn't have anything special about him as far as elite athleticism. And then you see a guy like Otto Lopez and you go, man, the guy can just flat out move. He can move, man. He's got speed, and the Giants are allergic to speed, I think. I really do. Look at, they got They won't play Grant McCray. I know Grant hasn't been that good, but all right, let me pull up this email. We got an interview, and then we'll get out of here. I don't even know what it is, but it's on Twitter. Hold on. It's just like a minute long. Let's bring it up here. 1 second here. This is Bryce Eldridge. Here we go. Is it up on the screen? Dallas?
Loading. Now it is, yeah.
Okay, it's there. All right.
We're in only 29 other parks.
Only 29? Yeah. No, I mean, I saw him well. Came up with a good plan for him. And, yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll probably lose sleep over that tonight. But, and the low strike that I should have challenged. But it's what it is. You just got to focus on tomorrow.
Did you kind of know or make peace with when you first took BP after you were drafted here that there would be some balls like that you just wouldn't get rewarded?
Yeah. I mean, I knew what I was getting into.
No choice.
The first thing people told me when I signed with San Francisco is you're gonna get a couple taken there. And my agent Tucker Ward, I opened my phone after the game. He's like, "Your first time getting Oracle, congratulations." So, it's tough, but there's nothing you can do about it. So keep going, put your head down, keep working.
A ball that would have been a homer in only 29.
Yep. Well, it's going to happen. It's the first of probably many times.
But the problem is, if the Giants don't actually, like after the next year, if they see that he's raking and actually sign him to a big deal, where I'm talking $20 million a year, a 10-year, $200 million deal, he's probably will walk if they wait till year 3 or 4 or something like that, and he's putting up huge numbers. Time to sign him is early. Yeah, he's got great demeanor for a 21-year-old. I love the kid. I think the kid is mature beyond years. Just, man, build around him. Build around that guy. Build around Casey right now. Build around Eldridge. And Boris says, need to sell high on a rise as soon as you can. Once Ramos comes back, Schmidt and Eldridge need to play every day, and a rise is the easiest option to free up space. Absolutely. It's a great point, Bora, because if you can sell him in June, let's say late June, Ramos comes back. Let's say it's 3-4 weeks from now, and he's ready to go. Let's say it's around June 20th. Trade deadline's not till August 3rd, but you can, at that time, Giants are probably June 20. What did I say they would be at the end of June? 20 under? I think I counted.
I got to run, Dan.
Okay.
I'll see you guys.
Yeah. Hey, tomorrow, let's do tomorrow night. I've got a dentist appointment in the afternoon, right around the end of the game. So we'll come on tomorrow night about 8 o'clock, guys. 8 years, 125. I think I can get them. Yeah. All right, guys.
See you guys.
Take care, Dallas. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. So, I do think, Bor, that is a really wise move to move him. You can move him, and then, the earlier you do it, the more you're going to get. If you wait till the end of July, 1st of August at the trade deadline, the season ends the end of September, right? So you only get him for 2 months or less if you wait till the deadline. But if you could trade him, heck, you could even trade him if the Giants right now they're 11 under. If they get to 15 under, which I think is coming soon, coming to a theater near you. The movie is called 15 Under. I think 15 under probably happens in the next 2 weeks, if not sooner. Wouldn't be surprised. I think, they got 12 under coming tomorrow. I think they lose 2 of 3 in Colorado. Colorado's getting their butts handed to them on this road trip in Arizona, in LA. They're going to go home this weekend. They have tomorrow or Thursday off, just like the Giants. They'll get to Colorado, refresh. They got a young team. They start to hit at home. They feel more comfortable at home, that huge ballpark. And I think they take 2 of 3 against the Giants. George says, but George, why do you want to sign to Rise right now when you're not ready to win? A Rise is going to be good for probably really good for another 3 years. But what are you going to do? Just keep blocking Casey Schmidt and Schmidt or Eldridge? Giants aren't winning, George. They're not winning with a Rise. They're not winning with Webb. They're not winning with Chapman and Adames and Devers. The Giants are 21 games under 500 since Rafi Devers joined the team. Now, is it Devers' fault that they're 21 under? No. It's part of his fault. It's not all of his fault, but he's not helped the team win. Neither has Logan Webb for years. And I get where people were saying, but look at Webb's value. It's dropping. You better hope Webb comes back. He may be back in Colorado this weekend. Hopefully Webb comes back and pitches well. Because if Webb pitches well, you get 2 things happening. 1, his value increases. And 2, you have the possibility that if everything worked together, the Giants start winning and they start hitting, they start winning. I don't see that happening. But if that were to happen, you do end up getting the benefit of the team getting better. So you've got to trade your assets while you have them. You know why the Rockies are really, really bad, guys? You want to know why the Rockies are so bad? Because they had no assets to sell off to help them get better. Look at the White Sox. They got some of these players, Kyle Teal, Mydroth, somebody else but they got him for Garrett Crochet. Okay, they sold their asset and got more assets back. They got rid of Luis Robert. They got rid of I'm trying to think of some other person they had, and they're rebuilding. And the White Sox are a competitive team now. They're not the disaster they were 2 years ago where they lost 121 games. Okay, now. But you got to move your assets to create more assets. Because if you can get rid of guys, and look, Chapman would be valuable to somebody as long as they're not paying him $25 million. If they're paying Chapman $10 to $12 million a year, he becomes more valuable to that team. Same with Adames and Devers. You might, if Devers keeps hitting, you might be able to get somebody to take Devers' contract fully on, especially if a team loses a DH or a first baseman. Now that Devers has shown he can actually play first base. But you've got to capitalize while you can and get top 100 prospects on these guys. And if you do that, it adds to your depth and it creates just, better players in your system. George says Giants are not winning with Casey or Eldridge. Devers can't help this. Devers can't help the team win when you lose your 6 best relievers after Devers trade and no starting pitching at all, Dan. Casey cannot carry this team. They're not winning. George, they're not winning in the next 2-3 years with any of these players they got right now. They don't have the pitching. They don't have the hitting. They're a long ways away. They've got the horses coming in the farm system. That's why I keep telling you, you move these guys and you keep Casey because he's cheap. Now, if Casey keeps getting better and he's showing that he's the player you're watching today and he's still that same player throughout the rest of this year and into next year, and he's like this stud player, yeah, you might look to trade a Casey Schmidt and get some really good, solid young prospects to go along with, like the Sharks are doing. They're all coming up together. I don't see the Giants personally winning this year, of course. Next year, I don't see anything happening next year. But imagine how exciting would it be, everyone, if the Giants had all these young players, and let's say a couple years from now, I'm just thinking out loud here. Let me just move some of this. Okay, and get this off. Okay, so imagine you got a team with Eldridge at first base, and he's 21 right now. Imagine him at 23, 24 years old, okay? And then the infield is surrounded with Johnny Level, talking 3 years from now. So let's say Luis Hernandez just continues to hit, and he just moves up into the system, and he becomes our 20-year-old that makes it into the majors, like, these other kids that are, your JJ Weatherholtz and your Connor Griffins and your Kevin McCongles, all these guys that are coming up. Let's say we get that, and we get Hernandez playing, let's say he's at short or third, and you move Casey to a DH, whatever. Okay. I'm just throwing names out there. Johnny Level, and then you got Joe Shar, Gonzalez, fleet-footed. Maybe he's your shortstop, or maybe he's your center fielder, or Hernandez is out in the outfield, vice versa. But you got all these guys, and you got Bo Davidson, and you got Parks Harbor, and you got Dakota Jordan, and let's say Barracuda, who's only like 24, he starts really developing a little bit more, and you got a couple of other minor leaguers. Charlie I can't pronounce his last name, Scanauzi or something like that, left-handed guy that can really hit. Okay, let's say all these guys are coming up together, and they're all in their early to mid-20s. Wouldn't you be excited to go watch that? And let's say they struggle for a couple years and they are losing 90-plus games, but by the second or third year, they're like all around 26 years old, and they're hitting their stride, and they are, 25, 26, and they're just blossoming together. And for like 6-7 years, they're the best team or one of the best teams in baseball. Isn't that sound more exciting than what they're doing now? And think about this, guys. Say, well, what if it doesn't work? Well, how's it working now, I ask, with mid players that are not star players, and that you're paying way over value for? You're overpaying for these guys because you can't get free agents here. And imagine if you had so many young players that were so good, and the next Juan Soto, who's got a year and a half, 2 years on his contract, and that's your missing piece, and you can pull a Juan Soto because you got so many studs that are, in your AAA farm team that are studs, they're the James Wood, the C.J. Abrams, and the lefty pitcher I'm thinking of that went in that deal. He's down at Texas now. Can't think of his name. Anyway, they were all in that trade, San Diego. They got James Wood. They got C.J. Abrams, the lefty. He's with Texas Rangers now. He was with Washington for years. Tell me who it is, somebody. I'm drawing a blank. I can see him. I can picture him. I just can't put his name in my head right now. Nobody's going to come up with it. Are you going to make me look up his name? Gore, Mackenzie Gore. Thank you, Bora. Couldn't think of it. Mackenzie Gore. Yeah. All those guys came for the Padres. Plus, they got Robert Hassel III. There was like 5 players in that. So imagine if you had all that, and you just needed that piece to get, like the Giants wanted to get Soto, but they didn't have the pieces. They couldn't compete. But as you built now, Giants may be able to do that soon. I like the kid Jackson Flora out of UC Santa Barbara for the 4th pick in this upcoming draft. There's a kid out of Texas, a high schooler. Name's drawn a blank. I think it's Emerson or can't think of his name. Anyway, he's a stud. You've got the Lombard kid. You got the catcher out of Georgia Tech. Anyway, then you got Rock Chakowski that the Giants met with, and they're going to try to persuade him. Maybe they've got a deal. They're going to say, "Hey, we'll give you $13 million." Maybe that'll scare off some of these other guys. Yeah. And Johnny, you're right. I don't have any faith in this front office to do it. I don't think they know how to evaluate talent. It scares me the way they're handling Eldridge. Yeah, I don't know, guys. But anyway, the next draft, 4 and 29. That's big time. You should be able to get 2 impact players, especially at 4. If you don't get a potential, superstar at 4, you're missing it. Baseball's tough. It's tough. Drafting's tough, but George is right here. They need to invest in pitching. They can get free agent pitching, sign a left-handed relief pitcher, setup man, a closer of relief, right fielder, and sign and trade 2 or 3 starting pitch. Buster is slow playing everything and wants a good farm system. Let's hope so. The trades last year were pretty good when you consider Parks Harbor, Blade Tidwell, Drew Gilbert. Think about it. They gave up Tyler Rogers for 2 months and he was a free agent. They were going nowhere. So to pull off guys, and then for Duvall, they got Harbor and Jesus Hernandez. So we'll see. Senior likes how they're handling Eldridge. Okay. You like the idea that maybe they're just slow playing him, or I think the rebuild's going well. Hopefully they're rebuilding. Let's hope so. Yeah, Los. Yeah, hire Dan and Los if you want a championship. There we go. Hey, Los, man. I do think there's the 2 of us and there's others in the chat. We could put our brains together, man. It's too bad we don't have this massive following with a few billionaires in here that would help us buy the team. And we could turn this thing around, I think, pretty quickly if we were, had more of a fan ownership, like the Packers, right? Packers own the It's the season ticket holders that own the team. They have the shares, and then they just bring in the Ron Wolfs and the other types of people to run it. Yeah, man. Come on, Elon. Elon, we're on X right now. Elon, just give us 50. All we need is $4 or $5 billion. That's it, Elon. That's like, that's a drop in the bucket for you. And we'll turn it in. We'll double the money for you because we'll get San Francisco hopping. We'll have the place hopping. It'll be electric again. We'll make it look like Petco Park every night. So that would be fun. But anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Hey, I get you, man. I get you. I'm very wealthy and retiring in the Philippines right now, man. I was looking at my Social Security, and I could take Social Security right now, but I'm waiting. If I wait, man, Versago, my wife's from the Philippines. I could retire over there like a king in a couple years, man. The exchange rate right now is like 60. So that means if you put in $100, it's worth 6,000 pesos, I believe, something like that. And yeah, it's but if you have like 4,000 a month, yeah, you're making like 24,000. It would be let's see, $4,000 a month is equivalent to about 24,000. Let's see, is it? I'm getting it confused, but I think it's like 20-something thousand a month here. Yeah. Forgot to go fund NorCal Sports Network. See the Giants. Get your picket signs ready. There we go. Oh man, Johnny! Surprise, surprise! Johnny needs Adames gone. Yeah, Johnny. It wouldn't be a night of NorCal Sports Network without you bringing something up about Willy Adames. I get it. George. All right. Well, let me get out of here. What's in Cardozo? Okay, let me find my music here. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, long show tonight. Hey, make sure you hit that button, the like and subscribe button, everybody. If you hit that like button, it really helps the channel grow. So please go ahead and do that. We also we want to make sure we give a shout out to our sponsor of the show. We have many sponsors. We have Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Make sure you reach out to Chapman Law Group for all your legal needs. You can reach Chapman Law Group at 415-613-9483. Chapman Law Group. You got a personal injury situation? Make sure you reach out to Chapman Law Group, as they will take great care of you. Also, we want to give a shout out to PrizePicks. PrizePicks. If let me get the PrizePicks logo up there. There we go. When you're talking PrizePicks, make sure you use the promo code NCSN. That's right. Use the promo code NCSN. It's right there on the screen. PrizePicks. It's a daily fantasy app where you actually build your lineups by choosing whether players will have more or less than a projected stat total. Right now, new users get $50 in lineups when they play their first $5 lineup, win or lose. That's right, $50 for just playing 5. They're giving you 50, everybody. What are you waiting for? PrizePicks. It's available in all states. Download the PrizePicks app today. Build your lineup. Follow along while watching the games. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, tomorrow night, everybody will be back. Giants play a day game. Makati, yes, 2028. Makati, there we go. Lowe's, he knows the Philippines, man. Yeah, Makati's a nice area of the Philippines near Manila. A lot of great food. Yeah, lots of good stuff over there. But anyway, guys, my hat's a little crooked. There we go. Giants tomorrow, 12:45, I believe, tomorrow. And then we'll probably come on tomorrow night about 8 o'clock. All right? So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. And we need a goodbye in here. Let's give our goodbye here. Hold on, guys. See, when Dallas is gone, it just doesn't go as smooth. Where is it? Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Here it is. Wait, did I find it? Hold on. There we go. John Miller, get us out of here tonight. What do you say, Johnny?